Hi, I'm Denise. Welcome to Second Chapter. Today I want to talk about receiving pension funds from your ex-spouse. So if your ex-spouse worked for a company that had a pension, a corporate entity that had a pension, a lot of people that work at Exxon have them, or other oil and gas companies, people who work for the Teachers Retirement System of Texas, folks who work at MD Anderson have TRS. Those are pension plans. And in order to receive those after a divorce, you have to follow the Qualified Domestic Relations Order process. So a QDRO, or a Qualified Domestic Relations Order, is a way to receive a pension plan that you were awarded from a corporation from an ex-spouse. That process needs to be taken care of while you're still wrapping up your divorce. You don't want to wait till after the divorce is done to start this. You need to complete the QDRO now. When you do that, typically your attorney will hire a QDRO firm or they'll draft it themselves. That QDRO is an order stating you get a % of the pension plan as you were awarded in your divorce negotiations. That QDRO is entered with the court with your divorce decree, ideally, and has to be signed by all parties and the judge. Once it's signed by the judge, it can go to the administrator, and then when retirement comes around, you'll have this pension plan available to you. Pension plans are a defined benefit plan. That means that there's just a benefit available to you at a certain date down the road. There's not a benefit available today, but that doesn't mean it's worth any less. Pension plans for the large oil and gas companies for retirees can often be as large as the 401ks. So we're typically talking about quite a bit of money here. You don't want to leave this to chance, and you don't want to leave this on the table, and you want to make sure you follow through with the QDRO process. There's two types of QDROs you can do for pension plans, for corporate pension plans. One is a separate interest QDRO, and one is a shared interest QDRO. We typically see separate interest QDROs, and what that means is when you're ready to retire and receive this money, it's based off your age. You will also dictate when you start receiving the money. A shared interest QDRO is the opposite. You will have to wait for your ex-spouse, who is the employee, to decide when they're ready to retire, and then and only then will you be able to receive part of the money you were awarded through the QDRO process at the time of divorce. So pension plans have to have QDROs. They involve a separate order to be entered through the court system, ideally with your divorce decree. They're typically separate interests, which gives you more control, and you will dictate when they start. You'll have to follow the rules of the company, depending on what age you start, whether it's 55 or 60 or 65. But at that point, you'll receive either the option to have a lump sum rolled into your own IRA or receive income for the rest of your life. If you have questions on pensions, or if you're in the middle of a divorce and you want to ask somebody for some financial information, or if you are wrapping up a divorce and you have a pension to deal with in a QDRO, we'll be happy to help you and answer any questions you have. Please click the link for schedule a consultation today.